डिस्कस करेंगे। एमसीक्यूज़ काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट हैं, ये डिफरेंट बोर्ड्स की बुक से लिए गए ताकि आपके कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर हों और आपको डिफरेंट बोर्ड्स की बुक्स को पढ़ना ना पड़े। जस्ट फेडरल और पंजाब आप पढ़ लिया करें, बाकी बोर्ड्स के जो है एमसीक्यूज़ ये वाले देख लिया करें। इससे पहले 3 लेक्चर अपलोड हो चुके हैं, सो आपने वो भी ज़रूर चेकआउट करने हैं, जिसमें डाइजेशन, इम्यूनिटी और एक दो और भी लेक्चर्स हैं वो अपलोड कर दिए हमने। तो ये जो है इसका चौथा लेक्चर है। इसी तरह आगे भी फर्दर लेक्चर्स अपलोड होंगे, सो डोंट वरी। तो इसका जो पीडीएफ है वो भी आपको मिल जाएगा। ये एमसीक्यूज़ जो है केपी के, बीटीबी, सिंध और पीटीबी और एफटीबी से लिए गए हैं, ठीक है। काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है, तो आपने इनको अच्छे से देखना है और वीडियो को एंड तक वॉच करना है। वीडियो अच्छी लगी तो अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ ज़रूर शेयर कर दें और इसके अलावा चैनल को ज़रूर सब्सक्राइब कर लें। चलें मूव करते हैं। हमारे पास ये पीडीएफ के फॉर्मेट में है, तो हम इसको पीडीएफ को ओपन कर लेते हैं। ये जो है जितने भी एमसीक्यूज़ बनते हैं, जितना भी डाटा ही बनता है, ये हमारे फेसबुक ग्रुप पे बनता है। और फेसबुक ग्रुप जो है हमारा Nmdcat प्रिपरेशन 2022, इसके एडमिन फातिमा क्वीन है। तो यहाँ पे जो है प्रोविंशियल एमसीक्यूज़ अपलोड होते हैं डेली बेसिस पे और उन एमसीक्यूज़ को देन कंपाइल करके उनका पीडीएफ बनाया जाता है, ठीक है। तो चलें स्टार्ट करते हैं। सबसे पहले फेडरल के जो एमसीक्यूज़ यानी फेडरल बोर्ड की बुक से जो है जो जिस टीम ने बनाया वो एमसीक्यूज़ हम देख लेते हैं। This is a small branch of an artery that leads to into capillary. So what is that? That is arterioles. 1 gram of hemoglobin can combine with how many milliliter of oxygen? So that is 1.34 milliliter. The amount of hemoglobin is dash grams per 100 ml of blood. So that is 15 gram per 100 ml of blood. Arterial blood is dash percent saturated. So that is 97%. Venous blood is dash percent saturated. So that is 75%. Bicarbonate ion in blood plasma combined with sodium. About how many percent of carbon dioxide is carried as carboxyhemoglobin? So that is 23%. When the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is higher in tissues, then will be formed. So what will be formed? So that's carboxyhemoglobin. Which of the following has greater binding affinity to hemoglobin? So that is carbon dioxide instead of oxygen. Myoglobin release O2 when the partial pressure of O2 is below 20 mm of Hg. Which the following part of brain regulates the respiratory process? So that is medulla oblongata. The lining that separate air contained in lungs from venous blood. So that is called squamous epithelium and endothelium. The alveolar epithelium of lung is called non-ciliated squamous. In human, breathing rate at rest occur at frequency of 15 to 20 times per minute, the affinity of which is much higher to combine with oxygen, so that is myoglobin. Inspiration is because of contraction of external internal intercostal muscles. The alveoli of human lung is lined by a film of that prevent them from closing, so that is surfactant lipoprotein. Team Punjab MCQs. Intercostal muscles are found between the ribs. A mixture of lipoprotein secreted by secretory cells of epithelium of lung is called as surfactant. Which the following is more important as regulator of breathing? So that is none. अब देखिए यहाँ पे एक और बात मैंने आपको बतानी थी कि जो सर्फेक्टेंट के हवाले से है ना एमसीक्यूज, अब वो पूछ सकते हैं कि सर्फेक्टेंट की नेचर क्या है, तो वो लिपोप्रोटीन होता है। तो ये भी एमसीक्यूज आपने साथ याद रखना है। Ciliated epithelium is not present in which of the following? Respiratory bronchioles. Both nasal cavities subdivided into 6 passages. Epithelium of a respiratory unit is a dash layer, so we can say that's very thin layer. Lungs are covered with the pleurula that is you can say they are double layered. In air passageway, air passes through all except, so that is lungs. Its dash is located in between two pleural sacs and it is central compartment of thoracic cavity, so that is mediastinum sternum. Which of the following are the parts? Page number 10. The parts of human respiratory system. So that is all of these. Which of the following function by keeping and filtering the mucus and dirt air away from the lungs? So that is cilia. Total number of alveoli present in human lungs is about none of these. So we can say it's about 700 million, not 600, not 500, not 800. Which of the following is a function of trachea? So that is filters air we breathe. In avis, I think so that's alveoli. The gaseous exchange occur within, so that is lungs. Where the following organ function as an air condition? So that is nasal chambers. The cartilage around the top of a windpipe is, so that is larynx. During swallowing, nasal cavity is closed by soft palate. Respiratory pigment in human is, that is hemoglobin. Maximum amount of oxygen which normal blood absorb, so that is 20 per 100 ml. Amount of carbon dioxide carried as bicarbonate ion combined with the sodium in plasma is about 70%, and 23% जो है वो कार्बोक्सी हेमोग्लोबिन और 7% जो है प्लाज्मा के थ्रू. डिजीज इन विच इनसाइड ऑफ लंग इज डैमेज रिजल्टिंग इन कफ एंड फीवर, सो दैट इज ट्यूबरक्लोसिस, टीबी जिसको कहते हैं. Disease which result in release of excretory chemicals such as histamine into the circulatory system that causes severe contraction of the bronchioles, so that is called as asthma. Asthma नहीं बल्कि asthma कहते हैं इसको. Disease which causes breakdown of alveoli, so that is emphysema. Disease in which person cannot oxygenate his blood properly and least excretion makes him breathless and exhausted, so that is emphysema. Percentage of carbon in exhale air is about, सो दैट इज़ ऑप्शन बी. अब इसका एक टेबल दिया होता है पंजाब बोर्ड में, फेडरल बोर्ड में नहीं है, फेडरल बोर्ड में भी है आई थिंक सो, तो आपने वो टेबल ज़रूर अच्छे से कर लेना है. टीम केपी के जो केपी के बोर्ड के बच्चों हैं उन्होंने जो एमसीक्यू बनाया वो आपसे डिस्कस करते हैं. से देख लेते हैं कि कोई क्वेश्चन वगैरह तो नहीं आएगी स्टूडेंट का. सो देयर इज़ नो क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम स्टूडेंट्स एंड चलें. सो टीम केपी के द वैल्यू ऑफ टाइडल वॉल्यूम इज़ अबाउट 500 ml and let me take this up. Okay, value of residual volume is 1500 ml. Hemoglobin have dash organic rings having iron, so 4 organic rings. Partial pressure of O2 partial in lungs is about 102 mm of Hg. Partial pressure in cells is about 550 mm of Hg. 100 ml of blood contain how many, means you can say that gram of hemoglobin, so that is 20 gram. PCO2 is dash in cells and dash in lungs, so that is high and less. Abundant ions in plasma are, that is potassium. The distribution of air into lungs is controlled by which of the following? Bronchioles. The permanent irreversible destruction of alveoli is called as emphysema. One of the following event is not associated with the activity of expiration, so that is contraction of diaphragm. Cartilage is present in all of the following except that is bronchioles. When hemoglobin of blood is fully saturated with oxygen, the 100 cc of the blood contains, that is 20 cc of oxygen. There are over alveoli present total surface area, so that is 7 million, 70 to 90 meter, you can say that is surface area is about. The right lung represents dash of the total lung volume, so that is 56%, because उसके जो वो lobes 3 होते हैं and उसके lobe 2 होते हैं, that's why. Respiratory pigment in human, that is hemoglobin. Respiratory pigment in annelids, that is option B, and that is chloroquinone. Respiratory pigment in mollusks, that is hemocyanin. Oriscope or otoscope is used to look into ears. Breathing dash process, so that is voluntary and involuntary. Or oxygen carrying capacity of blood doesn't depend upon quantity of blood. About dash percent decrease in oxygen concentration in air are produced doubling in breathing rate, so how many percent? That is 20%. Origin of respiratory system, that is endoderm. Lack of O2 causes, that is cyanosis. Two thin edge fibrous bands of glottis are called as vocal cords. Tuberculosis is a highly contagious chronic infection of lungs, that is bacterial. Myrectomy and gametes are concerned with, so that is otitis media. Tightness is a symptom of otitis media. Himmelberger phenomenon is also known as chloride shift. And exchange of gases between blood and cells is internal respiration. How the transport of CO2 and O2 by blood happens with the help of RBC and blood plasma. Enzyme essential for transport of CO2 is bicarbonate ion. Blood is carbonic anhydrase. So now MCQs of Team Synth. A complex process of oxidation reduction in which food is oxidized to release its you can say the respiration. In type of respiration occurs in the presence of oxygen is called as aerobic respiration. During respiration, O2 is consumed and CO2 is produced. The property of a respiratory surface must be all of these: thin, moist, widespread, and all of these having good ventilation system as well. Which the following shows pulmonary respiration? So that is frog. What is called the upper region of pharynx in men? So that is nasopharynx. That lies behind nose. The length of a human trachea is about 12 centimeter. presence of large number of alveoli around alveolar duct opening into bronchioles, mammalian linguices, so that is an efficient system of ventilation with little residual air. During transport of CO2, blood doesn't become acidic due to blood buffer solution की वजह से. At high altitude, RBC of blood increase in number, decrease in number, or increase in number. Which of the following doesn't happen during expiration? So that is the rib and sternum moves outward and upward. Which of the following doesn't happen during inspiration? So that is A option, ribs and sternum moves inward and downward. Which part of brain control breathing? So that is medulla oblongata. Disease causing degeneration of lungs and alveoli deteriorate due to inhalation of some toxic substances is emphysema. Takes in oxygen much more rapidly than, so that is blood and water. In man, the mechanism of breathing is negative pressure. In cockroach, there is 100 pair of spiracles, in which dash are in thorax and dash in abdomen. So that is for these kind of questions. Important MCQs. देखिए MCQs तो बहुत सारे बन सकते हैं, लेकिन जो इंपॉर्टेंट MCQs को बना के निकालना, उनको कंपाइल करना, वो एक फ़न होता है. ठीक है, मतलब फ़न होता है, एक फ़न इस तरह वो वाला फ़न नहीं, फ़न मतलब एक आर्ट होता है, आप ये समझ लें. ठीक है, तो काफ़ी सारे इंपॉर्टेंट सारे MCQs आपसे शेयर किए जाते हैं. सो दैट्स ऑल. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वॉचिंग द वीडियो. मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में, तब तक रखिएगा बहुत सारा ख्याल. लेट मी चेक कोई कमेंट वगैरह आया हो, तो कमेंट नहीं है तो चलें, इट्स ओके. सो दैट्स ऑल. इसी तरह हम और भी वीडियोज़ अपलोड किया करेंगे. सो कीप वॉचिंग. थैंक यू सो मच.